Hello everyone, thank you again for tuning in on the Chemicalguys.Eu YouTube channel. And today we're going to talk about hand polishing. Like Mr. Miyagi said, wax on, wax off. We're going to do that with some hand polishing pads. And why I'm going to do this by hand? Because some parts with a machine you just cannot reach so properly. Especially, if you already can come a little bit close with the camera, these parts, the sills behind the door handles. Like here on this Mini, we disassembled the door handle so we can now reach it more easy. And now we're going to give it a go with the Hex Logic Hand Applicators, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about in a minute. So, back to our tool trolley filled with detailing goodies. As with machine polishing, we've got more or less the same process with hand polishing. And we also have hardness differences in the hand polishing pads. We've got a hard one, the orange one, which is for light cutting. We've got a white one, which is for polishing. And we've got a black one, which is for finishing. And in that order, I'm going to use the new C4 compound, the P4 polish, and maybe, I don't know if I need it, maybe V38 on the black Hex Logic Hand Applicator pad. Before I'm going to start polishing, I'm going to clean this one up with a clay bar and some Luber. And prior to that, which I'm going to start with, I'm going to work with the paint thickness gauge to be sure how thick or thin the paint on this part really is, especially here on the edges. Often here on these parts of the sill behind the door handle, paint might be a little bit thinner, and I like to know that up front before I'm going to polish through the paint maybe. So let's start. And yeah, give you guys some guidance on how you can achieve these kind of results for yourself as well. Stay tuned for the next episode. So this is my paint thickness gauge. It's really simple. On the bottom you find a sensor. If you put it on the paint, the sensor beeps, and in this case it says 123 microns. What I wanted to know is how thick it is here. 132. What I especially want to know, how thick it is on the edges. 145, 149, 147, 162, 145, 143, 140, 151, 186. So this gives me some good guidance that I've got enough paint to work on. Please note that this paint thickness is clear coat, color coat and primer all together. So if you want to know specifically how many thickness you have, for example on the clear coat, on the color coat or on the base coat, aka primer, then you can use like a positoctor, which is a special, more expensive tool that gives you all details per layer. But I don't have that here yet. But this is a good idea for my own tool cart to equip myself with. So let's move on. Claying. First I want to be 100% sure that I'm working on a clean surface. This is such a verpakking. Just want to say that because I think swear words really make me feel cool. There we go. Here I've got my bottle of Luber. I'm gonna spray in some Luber on the surface. It's only a small surface. I'm gonna clay it super clean. That's better. Quite some debris comes off there. So let's give it a go. Shake my C4 polish, the strong one. Put a couple of drops on my Hex Logic Hand Applicator. Spray in some Luber or pad conditioner or Eco Smart to prime it. Spread it over the surface and just start polishing. Pretty much in the same orbital movements as a dual action polisher would do. Like the S08, S15, Bigfoot 15 for example. And now we're gonna rub the polish until we see some clarity coming in again, which means we are at the end of the grit range. But I think I used quite some polish for this small spot. Actually my right arm is quite trained as well. You can see that on my muscles here. It's more thick than the left arm. Now let's see in between how the results are. Well, I'm actually positively surprised. There's still some deeper scratches in there, but quite some are already gone. So I'm gonna give it a second attempt. Now, let's check out the second attempt, how that was. Not bad, still some swirls left, but we of course also have to treat it with the P4 polish, which I'm gonna get here now. Shake my polish a little bit, apply some drops on my applicator, divide it over the surface, and here we go. It smells really nice too, to cherry bubble gum. So, wipe down residue. That's more like it. I'm gonna give it another go to see if I can get out the most small swirls. Spray in some Luber again. There we go. Ooh, it's a little bit too much of product, so I have to buff more than actually I should. But hey, that's life. In Holland we've got a saying, it says more or less you can always use the hele fles. Doesn't really make sense, that kind of saying, but it's kind of funny. So, wipe it down to see the results. It's starting to get better, but I am sure that we're gonna need some V38 as well on the black Hex Logic Hand Applicator. Much better, but I think I'm gonna give it another go. So, the haze is starting to get less and less, so that means I'm at the end of the grid range. Wiping off the residue, and I have to say, I am really positively surprised. I see some minor swirls left, but it's like a 60, 70, 80% difference maybe. So polishing is done, time to give it a little bit of extra protection. So I'm gonna apply some butter wet wax on here, just rub it in. Nice and gently. So I'm gonna leave it to cure for 6 minutes, and then I'm gonna wipe it off, and then we're gonna do the resume. See you in the next shot. So wipe down the butter wet wax, and I have to say I'm super happy with the result. If you look really closely, you see some minor swirls left. As you can see where we came from, and considering it's only just a hand polishing job, I think we should be really happy with this. So the resume to get this kind of result. Well, first we measured the paint with the paint thickness gauge. As you could have seen, it was more or less around 150 to 140 microns. So for me that was an indication that it's thick enough to do some compounding on and to do some polishing on. Then we applied the C4 compound, the strong one, on the orange Hex Logic Hand Applicator, like this. Then we used the P4 on the white polishing Hex Logic Hand Applicator, like this. And then we used the V38 on the black Hex Logic Hand Applicator, like this. And I did all polishing sessions, I did it 2 times. Because I thought after 1 time with the hand, there's still some scratches left or some swirls left. I thought, well, I think I can get a nicer result. So I did all the steps 2 times. So in total I did 6 shots. And of course I primed my applicator pads with the Luber lubricant. So yeah, that's pretty much what he did. After that we wiped it down and we applied 1 layer of butter wet wax to give it some extra shine and protection. And this is pretty much what I did to get a hand polishing job like that. So if you're gonna work without a machine, I'm gonna advise you to do that on small sections, because let's say on a door panel or on a roof it's just way too large. Then you can better, even on a budget, invest 125, 150 euros on a machine polisher. That saves you so much time and hassle and energy. It's fine if you want to know some more about polishing sessions and polishing training. We offer that here too, here in this detailing booth. You can apply on that over the Chemicalguys.Eu website. So yeah, that's the resume of this hand polishing video. I hope you liked it. I hope this was all clear for you. I hope you could also see the steps and then slowly towards the end result. If you do have some questions, email us info@Chemicalguys.Eu, write it here under this YouTube video, or chat with us over the chat function on the Chemicalguys.Eu website, or over the WhatsApp service with the customer service of us. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.